What's up, guys? It's your boy T, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, making this video was very hectic. Mostly due to the fact that when I was writing the script for this, Kang the Conqueror's origin is so confusing that I had to literally rip pages out of my script book like 5 times to try and figure this out, because I don't understand. This dude goes through more identities than a dude with multiple personality disorder. Like, I don't understand all of this. But anyway, today in this video, we're gonna try and cover Kang the Conqueror's origin somewhat. As in, I'm gonna try and do this off the top of my head without a script, and let's see how you guys like it. So anyway, Kang the Conqueror's real name is Nathaniel Richards, and he is from the 31st century. He is a scholar, aka he is a nerd. But I'm not using that in a negative sense. This dude was freaking brilliant, and he was really obsessed with ancient history, and he found that a certain mutant named Apocalypse was in ancient Egypt. So he wanted to become a tyrant. Using Dr. Doom's time machine that was left behind, he went back to ancient Egypt and become a pharaoh named Ramatut. Now, Ramatut, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, or it's Ramatut, one of the two. Pretty much he was a tyrant in ancient Egypt, and during his rule, the Fantastic Four ended up time traveling towards that time period, and pretty much just boxed and kicked Nathaniel Richards out of ancient Egypt, which had to be probably the funniest thing ever. Once he got sent out of that time period, he ended up eventually kidnapping Dr. Doom, believing him to be one of his descendants. Pretty much he decided to adopt the moniker of Scarlet Centurion. Yeah, this was during a time where I don't think anybody really remembers this, and his suit was pretty goofy. I mean, look at that. That shit looks terrible. But anyway, pretty much he ended up going up against the Avengers, pretty much bringing a different version of them to fight against the 616 counterparts, and he pretty much lost. Yeah. After he lost, he got sent back in time once again and decided to adopt Ramatut once more. And during this time, he ended up going to a different future, a different planet as well, where kind of barbarian-like people had weapons that weren't matched up with their time. So, taking this to his advantage, he decided to don a new suit and adapt a new identity called Kang the Conqueror, which he used the technology and conquered that world, and that is how Kang the Conqueror was created. Actually, now that I think about it, it wasn't really that complicated to really go through. Pretty much, Kang was just a sore loser. He just kept losing every single time and kept coming back. But in the MCU, we were already introduced to Immortus. Now, Immortus is kind of a different version of Kang. Now, one thing that I know they're going to cover in the Multiversal Saga is variants of key Avengers and key villains that we've seen before. So, Immortus is one of these variants. Immortus is what Kang would become. And at this point in time, he believed that during his escapades, he created too many variants that all wanted to be number one. So he felt that eventually one of these variants would be coming after him. So his purpose is pretty much to set up stuff to either kill the variants or diminish them to a smaller number. I feel like this was Marvel's way of trying to make it that there's not too many Kangs running around, because at this point we already had Immortus, Kang himself, the Scarlet Centurion, which we've never seen ever again since then, and Ramatut. So pretty much there was a lot of Kangs running around. Throughout the years, Kang would just pop up randomly like, and then try and fight the Avengers and Fantastic Four, and he would just take an L mostly every single time. It wasn't until like the late 70s, early 80s that he became a prominent villain. And when he did show up, you know, he was a real big threat, because there were certain Earths or certain timelines where he actually succeeded and killed the Avengers. But for some reason, he just can't beat 616. I don't understand. And in his escapades, like I said before, he would create different variants, right? So there is a certain variant that I believe they're going to bring into the MCU, which is Iron Lad, aka young Nathaniel Richards. And yes, this is yet another version of Kang. See what I mean? What is this? Pretty much this has to be the biggest L I've ever seen this man take. And don't get me wrong, I love Kang the Conqueror, but you gotta admit, how did you mess this up? He went back in time, right? Knowing everything he knows now, still went back in time to find his younger self, and was trying to turn his younger self into him, but at a quicker pace with all the knowledge that he knows. And this is a foolproof plan. This is like going back in time to that point where you kind of failed a test and you know all the answers, but your younger self doesn't want to cheat, so he's not going to listen to anything that you say and then still fail the test anyway. So pretty much what he did was go back in time with all the stuff that he knows and try to train Nathaniel into becoming Kang the Conqueror. Now, young Nathaniel Richards detested Kang the Conqueror and vowed to never become him, and decided to, for the rest of his life, go against everything Kang believed in. And in a new story, he actually succeeded in this and killed Kang the Conqueror, but in him trying to not become him, he actually set up the building blocks to become Kang, which is kind of sad if you think about it. But this is really cool. The reason why I'm saying I feel like they're going to introduce, you know, Iron Lad, Nathaniel Richards, is because they are setting up for the Young Avengers. I know Stature is being introduced in Antman Quantumaia, and we already seen Wanda's kids, who are both actually a part of the Young Avengers, which is Speed and I can never remember that other one's name. I mean, he's not important. All I know is that he dated Hulkling, and I mean, we are getting the Skrulls as well, so Hulkling, I believe, is a Skrull, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, we are getting the Young Avengers, and one of the people who leads that is Iron Lad and Elijah, which is Patriot. Now, oh, and Elijah actually has been introduced in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, so maybe we're getting this a lot sooner than we anticipated. But yeah, Kang the Conqueror's history is very confusing. So I'm gonna try and pretty much sum it up for you. Went back in time, got beaten, got sent through time, met Dr. Doom, fought the Avengers, got beaten again, sent through time again, became Ramatut, then became Kang the Conqueror, went back in time to fight the Avengers, lost again, then after many years decided to to fight the Avengers again, still lose. So it was a lot of L's from Kang, I gotta say. But when he does show up, he is a very menacing villain, and he has a very dangerous power set, and I feel like in the MCU, they are setting him up to be very, very, very threatening, and I'm really in love with it. I like that they casted Jonathan Majors, because one thing I want them to do with Kang is not really show him to be a powerhouse. I want him to be smart. I want his brains to be incredible. Like, I want this to be perfect. Because Kang the Conqueror isn't really a fighter. Yes, he knows how to fight. Yes, he does. And he knows he has a pretty unique power set. But what was best about him was his smarts. His smarts is what got him through. So yeah, this is pretty much my explanation, as messy as it probably was. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like and a comment to let me know if you guys enjoyed these type of videos, because I kind of like doing this off the top of my head. It kind of puts me to the test. And yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy your day. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Leave a like, leave a comment, and also subscribe. I see that each week I get like 200 views on each video. Click the subscribe button. It is right in front of you. I know some of y'all are returning. Don't lie. I know some of y'all come back to this channel. Come on now. Click the button. Click the button.
In an all black drop, 10 rolled up when I'm out. Say they all wanna live, but I just wanna die. Motherfucker, if you looking for me,